Mike, check 1 2 1 2. Marcelo.
1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2. Anybody there? Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of The Tiffany Show, your TV, Peterborough, Lindsay, Cogeco, and of course my social media channels. If you do not subscribe, I highly recommend that you do. I got somebody super special to my heart, Marcelo Sarkis. Come on in, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to The Tiffany Show, my friend.
Thank you.
You have a journey, a story. I've seen you in the news for like different things. The new Canadian Center, of course, you're black belt Taekwondo, you're a patent agent, you're an engineer. Is there anything this man doesn't do? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I was born in Brazil, in Joinville, Santa Catarina. And we emigrated from Brazil in the mid-60s, arriving in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Arriving into a small town, Leamington, Ontario.
I know where Leamington is. The tomato ketchup. Yes,
Right.
I knew that.
Yeah.
In the 60s. My grandparents immigrated here in the 60s
too. There you go. And from there, I studied in Toronto and met my wife there. And then we ended up here in Peterborough.
How'd you end up here?
Peterborough? Well, we lived in Bobcaygeon for a while.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
Then we built a house in Dunsford.
Nice.
We lived in Dunsford for a while. We had a farm property there.
Oh, cool.
And then we decided to move into town.
You a dog lover?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you have a dog?
No.
No?
No.
Well, you travel too much, maybe. You worked a lot, too.
Yeah. We had cats, and they got old, and
Fair.
they passed away, and it was
You get
a bit of an emotional shock for everyone. So we thought we'd take a break. With
Animals are just so special to our homes and our families, and it doesn't matter what the animal is. You just end up with that emotional connection, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So maybe you could share with us a little bit about your journey. Like I said, you got black belt Taekwondo. Were you doing Taekwondo in Brazil when you were little?
No. I started Taekwondo when I was 14, 15.
Cool.
It was a summer in Leamington, and I saw a bunch of guys jogging along the sidewalk wearing their, what I thought were pajamas. And back then, in the early 70s, you knew Bruce Lee, you knew Kung Fu, the TV series. So I thought, wow, this is something interesting. So me and a friend of mine, we followed them to their workout area, and that's how we got introduced to Taekwondo.
No way.
Yeah.
And what got you into being a patent agent?
That's interesting. On my third year in engineering school, there was a job posting where they were looking for a chemical engineering student because they needed someone who could understand the chemical nomenclature.
Oh my gosh.
Because they have some chemical and pharmaceutical clients.
Right.
So I said, I'll apply this.
I can do that.
So I applied. I did the job interview. I beat out 20 candidates, and then I was hired as a summer student. And then when I was, in the process of graduating, they called me back and said, we want to hire you on full time. So 35 years later, I have my own little patent firm, and
isn't that wild?
There you go. Yeah.
And the businesses and people that you would help to protect their intellectual property, I can only imagine, because that would be a very,
I've seen everything.
Yeah, I bet.
You've seen
to be a fly on the wall.
To startups, to one-person operations, to multinationals as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And built it right from scratch, or did you purchase it from somebody else?
No.
Wow.
I built it from scratch. So the firm I was with, they were going, they were closing down, and I had a large enough book of work that allowed me to establish my own practice.
Nice. So, that's so cool. Good for you.
Yeah,
that's amazing. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Does it run in the family? Like, are there other entrepreneurs in the family too?
My dad, I guess my dad would have been an entrepreneur. When he emigrated from Lebanon to Brazil, that's where he met my mother.
Okay.
He worked on his own selling dress shirts and whatnot, but like a traveling salesperson.
Okay. So he had it in him.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. And he had a thriving, before he passed away, he had a thriving, somewhat quasi illegal business. I can tell you, we can share that now.
Well, years ago too, things were so different. That's
that was
fair.
back in
That's
the day.
fair. My Nona and Nono had kind of their own challenges immigrating and at that time.
I think, when you come in as a child, as a youth, you integrate more easily.
Right.
I think, but I could see my parents struggling as new Canadians, struggling with the language.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because if you're learning English after age 12, that accent rarely leaves you.
Right.
So yeah, there were struggles.
Yeah.
And changes in culture, differences in how things are done.
Right.
I remember a funny story. I came home, I was upset. It was grade 2, and my mother said, "What's wrong?" And I told her, the teacher asked me, "What did we have for supper last night?" And I said, "Well, we had a large salad and a little bit of chicken put on the salad." And she said, "That's not a proper meal. You have to have meat and potatoes." And I thought, "Oh, we're not eating correctly." So I told my mother, and my mother just gave a certain remark like, "Don't worry about it.
Yep.
We'll do what we're gonna do."
That's right. Pasta in your family? Any big pasta maker?
I make my own.
Oh, we should have a pasta oven. Oh, I love that.
It's a very old one, made in Italy. We bought it in the 1970s, and it's still working.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
a hand crank, and
that is so cool. I would love a hand crank. I have the one that goes on the
mixer.
Yeah. You feel like it's gonna fall apart.
Yeah. Too funny.
So coming in, I know you've got a bit of a life journey, a bit of a story. Who in life inspires you on?
I think, honestly, everyone I interact with inspires me. I think we all have something inside us to inspire each other, to inspire to do better,
Yeah.
and to feel better about ourselves. I mean, obviously, my parents, my family, because we're there, right? We're very close. But I think everyone has an opportunity to inspire each other.
Depends on what we take from each other, right?
Yeah.
So in moments of maybe friction or adversity, or when you've been really, really down and out, is there something that pushes you on to keep going?
I go back to my parents, how they came to Canada and struggled to be integrated into Canadian society. When you leave a country I think my dad left Lebanon with $50 in his pocket, and he left with his best friend on a ship from Lebanon to Brazil. And he said that they cried for 7 days because they had never left their village.
Oh.
So for $50, he's looking to start a new life to ensure that he and his offspring have a better life.
Isn't that amazing, that they all set out to that journey and then they landed in Canada and then I wouldn't exist if that didn't happen,
Yeah.
And I remember stories of my Nona, and even when I was little, I remember her hands were always raw because she had a hard time getting work. And so she would have to work at the chicken plants.
Yeah.
And so they didn't really take care of people then. And so her hands would come home just burnt red and peeling from the chemicals that they would use at these plants.
My mother worked in greenhouses as well.
Oh.
And she was a seamstress as well, a trained
seamstress.
Goodness. So I had my clothes made for me when I was going to school. I remember going to Woolworths, and there was another store where I had to go help my mother pick out the patterns. So, what do you want to wear? And I would go and say, "Okay, I want this." So then, right?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask what your mom and dad's names were?
My father's name was Wadia.
Wadia.
And my mother's name was Sinita.
Sunita, what a beautiful name.
Yeah,
we had Dominic and Carmela.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Always got to share. I've got a soft spot.
Yeah.
So maybe in some of those challenges that you faced in life, how have they shaped your perspective?
The way I look at it, and this comes with Taekwondo training, every obstacle, every challenge is an opportunity for you to grow. So you look at it, you assess it, and you determine, how can I deal with this obstacle? How can I deal with this challenge?
Right.
And I have something for us to do about that.
Right
And
now?
if you like.
Yes.
One of the things I like to do is to motivate and inspire individuals to do better.
Yes.
So if you may, if you like, hello,
I'm down.
So if we can, what I'd like to do is something that I've done in the past, promoting Taekwondo, and I have some boards that you're going to break. But what we're going to do is, on the board, you're going to write an obstacle or challenge in your life, and then we're going to break through it. Because what I like to do is, Taekwondo is to break through barriers. So you can be a better self. You can be a leader in your community, like to be a better person.
That's what that mental fortitude and the personal growth.
Mental, spiritual growth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's break some wood, everybody. Well, I'll break through. Here, I'll set this over here, and we'll set this over here.
We may need you to stand.
Yeah, do I need to stand? Should I slide this back? Look, there we go. We're good. We're good. Yeah, we'll just put that down there. Here we go. Please continue to hold. We will be with you momentarily. Right.
So we have 2 boards here.
Okay.
2 demo boards, right? And I have a marker.
All right.
What I want you to do is write down an obstacle in your life, a challenge in your life, something that may be a goal in your life, right? We have a student who's in a wheelchair, and she wrote down she wants to walk, right? We had another person who wanted to learn English, a new Canadian. We had other people who wrote down they don't want to be bullied anymore. So it's quite interesting, right?
There's a lot of power in that.
Yeah, what people put down on a simple board.
So my board is, don't let other energies bring you down. It has been like recurring life lesson.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, the universe always brings that lesson to you repetitively until you can build the strength and stretch into the space to be able to just be unaffected by what others say and how they treat us.
Right. Very good.
So I want to let that go.
Okay,
yeah, this is a super, it is so much deeper than I can even express, actually.
And we're going to give you 2 boards.
Try not to call.
I can get 2 boards.
Here we go.
So are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, so put your right foot back.
Right foot back?
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me move the camera. See if I can get it. There we go.
Can they see? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you see us?
So put your right foot back.
Right foot back.
Now raise your right hand up over your head. Make a fist, and then turn it to the side. So now you're going to have the side of your fist. And what you're going to do is from there, you're going to come right down through the target.
Okay.
And as you come down, you're going to let out a yell. So put your hand right up there, and you're going to come straight down. Yeah, a little bit harder. Yeah, go right through my hand and big yell. One more time.
Ah!
Where's your yell?
Ah! Yeah, you're right. Okay. Ha!
Okay, so you're going to have to go a lot harder than that.
A lot harder?
Right?
All right.
So full arm, don't bend your arm, and your full body, and then come right through.
We can do this.
Straight arm, straight arm.
Straight arm.
And then come right across, and when you come across, you're going to turn your shoulder into, so your whole upper body is going to come in and down into. Okay. You got it. Okay. Yes. Okay. You ready?
Yes.
You can do it.
I can.
Make sure your left foot is forward.
Left foot forward?
Yeah, a little bit more.
A little bit more?
Yeah. Over to there. Yeah. Arms straight up. You're going to come straight down. You're going to hit with that part.
That part there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just do that like that. No.
Like that?
Like that.
Okay.
Nice tight fist. Right through center and go right through the target.
Okay.
Okay. And then big yell.
Ha!
There you go. Right on.
Oh, that's so cool.
There you go.
I've never done that.
See? So you can break through your obstacles.
Oh, it feels good. That
Bring it
feels so good.
So we like to do that to inspire individuals, give them some
Power.
confidence,
Yeah.
some power.
And that didn't hurt at all.
Most board breaking in Taekwondo is psychological. You see something like that, you see that board. I can't break through that, but it's not easy to break.
No.
It becomes difficult to break when you hesitate and you hurt yourself.
Right.
If you do this and you just touch the board, you're going to hurt.
Right.
If you go through it, you'll be fine.
That is
So
wow.
it's a lesson that we teach our new beginners, that you need to go right through, start what you finish, go through with the plan, and everything will be okay at the end of the day.
Does that ever complement the challenges question too, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how, like, I feel it, how other adults would feel it,
Mm-hmm.
but also how it would affect kids and youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've seen those videos with the little, actually I've seen one video where the little fella's like trying to break it and he just keeps hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. And his little buddy comes up and he's like, you got this, you can do this. And they all kind of rally and he does it again and it cracks.
3-4 years ago, and I had a couple of students and they were breaking boards as well. They were new Canadians as well. And I think that's a perfect way through Taekwondo to help new Canadians integrate with our society.
Oh, brilliant. And establish
because everyone
community.
that comes in, they're from different backgrounds, different cultures, but now everyone is sweating and huffing and puffing and kicking and punching all together.
Brings you together.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
a bit of common ground and a common space.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You just shared a bit of kindness with us. You've done some remarkable things for people, and I know a lot of it flies under the radar, but I know. Can you share a moment where somebody's kindness has impacted your life?
Think back to my teachers in school, not only in high school, but in post-secondary education, where if they would see that I was struggling with something, that they took the time to sit down and go through, the problem,
right,
and describe the problem in such a way to help me solve the problem. When I was doing my thesis, my supervisor, unfortunately, had to travel to Egypt.
Oh,
so
wow.
now all of a sudden I didn't have a supervisor.
Oh.
This was I think email was just starting to come out. So there, I'm dating myself now. But anyhow, there was another professor that I knew who said, I'll take you on.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't need to do that. His kindness was just amazing, So when you see things like that in people, you want to also be kind and give back.
I feel that, yeah. I wonder if that bleeds into, especially your experience with your teachers. It'd be interesting to see how much that bleeds into how you teach.
Maybe. I don't know.
Wonder.
Yeah. That's a good
kind of a bit of a ripple, right?
A good potential study to carry out.
Watch you in action.
Yeah.
If little Marcelo were sitting with us right now today, what would you tell that little fella?
I would say, don't let go of your dreams. Pursue your dreams. And even though sometimes the path to get from point A to point B seems difficult, at the end of the day, it's worth that work. It's worth that journey. Enjoy the journey. Yeah.
Oh, enjoy the moments along the way, eh?
Yeah.
And can you share any life lessons or even core values or principles that you live by?
One is never give up.
Oh, yeah.
Never give up.
Never.
Be kind to others. You can still be assertive. You can still get your point across, but be kind to others, because we don't know what they are going through. We don't know if they're just coming now from a situation. You don't know where they're coming from. sometimes you need to have some empathy, you know, and work hard. I think it's important to have a strong work ethic, because that also is, to me, a great example to others who perhaps feel they're not able to achieve what they want to achieve, but work hard and it'll come.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but
just keep working hard, because you're moving faster than the people that are sitting on the couch, right?
Yeah, and meet with as many people as you can.
Always say yes to coffee.
Oh, yes, yeah. But meet with as many people as you can. I think that's important as well, to build a strong network.
Yeah. Yes.
It's hard. It's hard if you're an introvert, but
Yep.
I think it's a skill that you can learn. I was invited to speak to third-year university engineering students, and to just basically share my experience on how to build a network, how to meet with people, and just break the ice, right?
Break the ice, break the board.
Nervous inside.
We are.
We're all nervous,
Yes.
right? But it's a matter of letting that nervousness work for you.
Yeah, and just putting ourselves out there.
Yeah.
And we all have to start somewhere when we're building, especially when it comes to building a network, right? Like, we're all new.
Yes.
And so I always try to go into, like, any event, I try to go in with that lens. Like, I've just kind of always been the kid. Actually, one of my very best friends was in college. They were like team up into groups of 3, and me and the girl sitting beside each other. We looked at each other. We're like, yep, we're in. And then this one gal was sitting behind us, and she was just all by herself. And so we turned and we were like, do you want to be part of our crew? And she was like, to this day, 20 years later, she is one of my best friends.
Right
and she
on.
still brings up that memory, because she's like, if you didn't include me,
There you go.
I just always, you know what? My dad was always like, take care of the underdog, cheer for the underdog. If you see a kid alone on the playground, go to that kid. And I don't know why he taught me to do that, but I know that he was one that would like protect people from bullies when he was in high school. So if somebody was being bullied, they would actually go to my dad and be like, can you help me? And my dad would do something about it. Yeah. So he always had a chip on his shoulder about bullies and making sure that people felt included and that you don't exclude people.
That's great.
Yeah. That's kind of, one of those special things that we get that we sort of bring along with us, right? Like the being kind and just inclusive. And I really love that you brought up that example about just kind of taking care of people and seeing them with that lens of empathy. Yeah. Like, what if he just lost somebody? Yeah. What if that was the thing that made him make a very sad decision or a really hard decision, or was the thing that was just the trigger, you know? Yeah. And like, it's so important to just move around the world with that empathy and that kindness and to find people in your circle that are of that like mind, because especially now, right? And we kind of talked about this earlier, but especially with media and the climate and things are a bit tumultuous and can be really negative. So it's now more important than ever to like hang on to those human connections. And don't forget that we're all humans with really hard stories, and everybody has a journey that we walk through.
I think human connections, you hit it right on the nose right there. Human connections.
Yeah, that's life.
That's the key right there.
Yeah, right? That's the key to happiness.
Social media, etc., whatnot. It's at the end of the day, it's human connections.
Yeah, because we weren't made to be alone.
That's right.
We're made to be together. Yeah. And even though we see AI rising and kind of that whole climate itself, we're going to see the need for human connection and the want for human connection to also rise and move in that direction. Because we are definitely not going to want to be losing sight and hope of that.
For sure. For sure.
I'm sorry. I feel like I just went on a little rant there for a few minutes.
That's good.
I was so excited when all these things are lining up. Marcelo, we are rounding up. I've got 2 more questions for you today, sir.
Okay.
What is the best thing about life?
The best thing about life is life. You know, all the positives, all the negatives. How do you appreciate the good things in life without not having some bad things in life, right? So I think it's important. It's that balance. It's the yin-yang, it's the yang, it's the positive, it's the negative. Everything works together.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what I think is important.
It makes me think of that tale where there's no bad things that happen. There's only lessons.
Yeah. Yeah.
The floor is yours. Marcelo, if you could share a message with those watching, what would you like to tell them?
When you wake up in the morning, the first thought that should come into your mind should be positive thoughts. You should be grateful that you're waking up that morning, and you should always try to think positive thoughts, because you may not know it. If you start to think negative thoughts about yourself, oh, your hair looks this or that, you're hearing this, and it'll have an effect on you. So you should always try to think positive thoughts. Have some positive affirmations throughout the day, which is important, because believe it or not, it works.
It helps. It totally does.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
And get out there and enjoy nature. Your best gymnasium is a trail, a nature trail. That's the best thing. Right now, we're now starting into fall. Those colors are just miraculous. And you can just feel that energy. You'll come out feeling so much better, so much more positive going through a walk in that sort of nature trail.
Soul food.
Yeah.
All the things that fill our souls.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today,
Thank
Marcelo.
you for having me.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. I appreciate the boundaries that we're breaking. And you know what? Because we talked a little bit about Taekwondo, if we want to sign up for Taekwondo, how do we reach out to you?
Perfect. So right now, we're offering classes through the Peterborough Sport and Wellness Center. We're in Blue Wave Taekwondo. And they do have, for families who are facing some financial difficulties, they do have programs with the City of Peterborough where there'll be some subsidization.
Nice.
We're also part of the Canadian Tire Jumpstart program, which also has subsidization.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're very open to accommodating everyone and anything and anyone. Our motto is Taekwondo for all. So anyways.
So if you've been thinking about it, try it. Super, super
Now
powerful.
Is the time.
Now is the time.
Don't mess with Tiffany. She
That's
broke
right.
those boards
I will take you down.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Marcelo, honestly, you're such a beautiful human being.
Thank you.
I think since the first time we met, there was just chemistry between us. I've just always felt you were super special.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on The Tiffany Show.
You.
Be kind, keep going, and all that good stuff.
You're looking to sell your home or cottage? You want to work with someone who knows the market inside and out. Hi, I'm Sarah Evans, born and raised in Peterborough, Ontario. I am very proud to call this great community home. Contact me today and I can promise to exceed your expectations. 705-768-6278 or visit sarahevans.ca.
Not intended to solicit those currently under contract.